Hey, what's up? Well, I'm back again making another video. And, well, what do you know? I think I found the perfect situation as far as the light. We have a desk light, and today I'm wearing my nautical theme outfit, complete with my anchor earrings and my anchor pendant, just because it's nautical and patriotic. I think it's both of those things. Well, what I'd like to talk about in this video, see, I have a little fish on my bracelet since I don't want to try to get an anchor bracelet. What I'd like to talk about in this video is something a little different, sort of a change up from the subject matter that I usually talk about, which I'm totally sick and tired of. But what I'd like to talk about is I want to title it Short Drapes. And I'm talking about something that it's a subject matter. It's yet another topic that I'm angry about, only it's totally different, from the other subject. I just get so angry so easily. And so what I'd like to say about this, I guess I should address a few other things, like people are threatening me, and I'm very upset about how one of my favorite videos from about 6 months ago that was getting an average of 1,000 views a month or so, yes, it was removed for copyright violation. And I didn't address that because I just was so upset about it, or so mad, because people are trying to get me. They can't get me to back down and stop believing what I believe about the subjects. So they'll try to get me another way by having my content removed and telling me that I could be thrown in jail for my cat videos, which no, the cat is not being abused. She's not being injured. I'm just getting her really mad. Because just like me, she has a bad temper. And I think it's cute. She's cute when she's mad. So anyway, what I'd like to talk about is yet another subject matter that just has me very angry, and it's something I've recently discovered. This belief that your drapes should either hit the floor, should barely hover above the floor within a half inch, or should be puddling on the floor, which I didn't even know that terminology, which means that they're too long and they actually lay on the ground. Okay, they're basically too long in my book. To have drapes on the ground, to me that's disgusting. Okay, when I think about all the dust, and all the roaches and all that, it just grosses me out. Okay, and the reason I was looking that up is because when we first moved to this house, okay, this roach infested s-hole of a house that we're trying to make sense of, it's about 40 years old, if not older. When we first moved here, they had so many drapes, like all the drapes, if they weren't missing entirely, they were touching the carpet or puddling on the carpet, meaning they were too long. Okay, that gets caught in your vacuum cleaner if you don't move it or tie it up, and I just don't want to go through the extra effort. I don't care. If you want to call me lazy, I don't care. I don't want to go through the extra effort that would be required to care for such drapes. Okay, and I hated them. The curtain rods were stupid, impractical, and impossible to put back once I removed them. And they were just outdated, old-timey drapes. Okay, and it really made me mad the way the house was. And, I've just spent the last, well, oh my gosh, it's over a year since we saw this house for the very first time. But it's been about a year since we signed on the house and started moving into it. And it just really made me mad the way the drapes were. Most people, or some people, would have just left them that way. And I think that's what my dad really wanted, which is why he's not lifting a finger to help me install curtain rods and do the things I want to do to change it and make it livable for me. Okay, so I really hated the way the drapes were dragging the floor. Almost every single one of them, either that or they're missing entirely. And I just hated it. The way the curtain rods were just these big, thick, ridiculous curtain rods with 6 bolts on either side, and the drapes were all 84 inches, and they were hung too low, okay? And I really hate that look. And so I researched it, and I discovered that there are some people who actually think that that's the way they should be, that it's normal, good, and right to have your drapes puddling, and that the French thought that meant you were wealthy. Well, guess what? We're not wealthy, and I'm not going to try to pretend that we are, okay? I couldn't give a crap less. And it's just so infuriating, to actually hear that there are people, almost entirely women, that think there's something wrong with you if you buy drapes or hang drapes so that they're well above the ground, okay, like more than 2 inches above the ground, or if you specifically buy them. In my case, I went out and bought some 63-inch panels specifically for that reason. I got rid of the old drapes, threw them in the trash because they had roach poop on them, and they just grossed me out. The stupid woman who lived here must have loved the colors brown and white and everything in between, beige and just ugly neutral colors. She didn't believe in bright, cheerful things. And she was very old school. Obviously, somebody told her that the drapes should hit the floor, or they should cover the floor a few inches. And, she went with that. And it just really makes me mad. There are people that would actually try to say that I did it wrong by purchasing short drapes and or hanging the drapes that were longer so that they would not touch the ground, or they'd be at least an inch or more above the ground. Okay, I went through great effort to make it that way because I think it's disgusting. I don't want them getting caught in my vacuum cleaner, and I don't want them getting filthy. I hate things that are filthy, and I believe in practicality and cleanliness above all else. I'd much rather have something that's clean and doesn't necessarily look great than, to live in a place that looks like it could be in a magazine, but yet it's filthy. Because as I've stated before, being filthy, that's the one that will put you in the hospital or the graveyard. Neatness and beauty is one thing, but cleanliness is more important. Okay, so yeah, and if I could say one thing, to those people, that want to say my drapes are wrong, because they're too short or something, well, it's none of their damn business. They don't have to ever come to my house, okay? If it's not their idea of a glamorous house or it's not formal enough, well, you know what? I've got a 2-word phrase. It begins with an F and ends with a U. So to them, I would like to dedicate that song, F you very, very much.